Hi friends, welcome to my channel. So today I just want to talk about a Kubernetes in a very basic terms. That means like who are all want to start Kubernetes from the scratch, from the beginning stage. Like they don't know anything about Kubernetes and they just want to understand what is Kubernetes. So they are new to the DevOps world, right? So I just want to give you a glance about the Kubernetes today. Let's jump into this video. What is Kubernetes? So when anyone asks Kubernetes, we can say it is an orchestration tool, right? So orchestration definition is like which can do something other than us, like to do that auto scaling, to do the cluster maintenance, to making that application to be healthy all time, to maintain everything like one person doing the job for us to making that application to be healthy, and it is orchestrating the jobs and all every day every time and all like 24/7. So that is called the orchestration. So Kubernetes is one of the tool under this orchestration. Next, how the Kubernetes will be installed, how it can be used. So Kubernetes is like an they have provided a very good documentation for the Kubernetes. Initially, it is a product given by the Google, and then it was been moved to the Cloud Native Foundation. I have already explained this in my previous videos also. So when Kubernetes documentation is there, then how to use this Kubernetes in our environment, either it is in on-premises or it is in the cloud. When it is in on-premises, there are so many people who have tried from the scratch. I mean, when previous 6 years or 7 years, if you take that, there are so many people tried from the scratch by doing creating a host from the beginning, a Linux host or a CentOS, Ubuntu, Red Hat. They will build their own base host and they will install the Kubernetes binaries into that one. And on top of that one, they will do the deployments. That is a whole story. I will start from there also, but I will tell you how Kubernetes growth has been exponentially increased till time. Okay, till today. So first of all, when the Kubernetes want to install, we need to have a host like a server or a mission. So initially, for example, think like there is a one server, there is another server. We can name it as a master and we can name it as a worker. Okay, what we want to do, we want to install all the Kubernetes binaries into this master and same to the worker. And we need to install all the binaries one by one. Okay, Venkat, you are telling binaries. What are those binaries? What is required for that host? I'll tell you. So in master, when you install Kubernetes binaries, there are some key components. Those are, one is API server, another one is etcd, controller, scheduler. These are the four key components from the master. From the worker side, we have kubelet, kubeproxy, and kubectl, kubectl, and one CRA. CRA is like container registered information runtime container runtime tool that will be installed in that. Either it is like CRA, CRAT, we will install in that worker node. Okay, I said the namings. What is the functionality of those? Why that is required in the Kubernetes servers? First one, API server. API server is the one which will take your request as a user. If you want to connect to it, connect to the cluster, you want to enter some commands and you get that response from the cluster, right? So the first connectivity will go to the Kube API server. Second one, etcd. Etcd is like consisting of all the cluster, whatever the missions, whatever the things you are maintaining, it will keep those data inside that one. It's like a blueprint, it will keep it in that etcd database. Third one, controller. It will control your nodes and node health, like to keep that as a desired state. Initially, when you start building the Kubernetes, like when you're going with the 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 in algorithms, if you want to make one master, one node, one master, two nodes, if you go like that. So the next is like, what are the components are running inside the Kubernetes? Like I said up at the master and it said the worker, rights. Something if you want to deploy, something you want to install in the applications into your nodes, right? So at that time, how you want to install your applications inside that one? So that will gives you the components, I mean, called a pod, replica set, and deployments. So why I'm showing like this is like a first, the pod is a very basic minute unit running in the Kubernetes. That is a very important because your core applications will be running inside this pod only. That means whatever the image you build, I hope you saw my previous video how to build an image, how a image can be created like that. So those information, if you want, I will give that link also in this description. You can just watch through that. So that image will be added into your pod. That pod will start running into it. So that is a basic atom. I can say call it as a basic atom running in the Kubernetes. Then how many pods you want to run to make your applications to be healthy. Even if there is any downtime to this pod, your application should be run healthy and running, right? That's why we are choosing Kubernetes. So that is what replica sets. So replica sets is like how many replicas you want to run for your application. That means it depends upon your application traffic, application load. You have to design those things and all. So considering that, you can design that replica sets when you are creating these pods and all. And the last one is like the deployments. So deployments is like a whole structure of your complete inclusion of these pods and replicas, everything you can define inside that one, including, for example, if you have any secrets or if you have any configurations, if you want to connect it to some secret server to get those secrets and all, everything you can be configured inside these deployments and you can run this deployment. So when you are running this deployment, automatically the replica sets, pods, everything will get designed. I mean, everything will get start running. So this is the bringing up your application. Okay, bringing up your applications inside your cluster. So pod, replica set, deployments. So these are the three core components. And next I'm going to talk about services. Services are like you have your application running and you have to expose that application. So in Kubernetes, we have three concepts of services. One is cluster IP, another one is node port, the third one is load balancer. What is that? What is the difference in this? So cluster IP is like you don't want to expose that one. You want to use that cluster IP inside your cluster. Then you can make use of this cluster IP. So if you want an example, when you bring up your cluster initially, you can see a cluster IP with the Kubernetes. So that is used inside your cluster. So the second one is node port. This node port is like if you want to expose your application, yes, you can use this node port and you can give your port number, what port number you want to expose to that application. You can very well give it that, you know, the ranges of this one, like from 0 to 6555, some number is there. So you can use in between this and you can expose your application to the external world. Third one, load balancer. The name itself, it will tell you the load balancer. If you want to make use of a external load balancer to your application, yes, you can take your load balancer and you can assign to your service and it will expose to your load balance, I mean, the respect to external load balancer. So this is about services. And we have ingress also, that will I will cover that ingress as a separate topic here. So for now, I just want to summarize this video. So the first one is Kubernetes will have pod, replica set, deployments, and finally services. So these are the workloads running inside the Kubernetes. Okay. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you like this video, I mean, if you give the support only, I can keep on trying my level best on this one. Thanks for watching. Keep supporting. Thank you so much. Then you have to, this is your desired state. My desired state is like this. If there is any issues to that one, you have to come back to the same desired state. So the controller will take care of that action. The last one is scheduler. Scheduler is, it will look for the available nodes to deploy your respective pods. I'm rounding up the pods I'll tell you in later. Okay, so these are the four key components in the master node, and we have another tools in the worker nodes also. That is, first is kubeproxy. That is a connection between your pods. When you have deployed so many pods in that particular nodes, it should be like a connectivity should be there between those pods, right? So kubeproxy will take care of those actions between the pods. Next one is kubectl. Kubectl is like a command line interface to connect and to get all your workloads, whatever the pods, whatever deployments. I'll tell you these things and all later. But pods, deployments, applications, if you want to get those information from the cluster, kubectl will help you. The last one is kubelet. It's very important. Why I'm telling is, if kubelet health is means it's unhealthy, suppose, it will lose the connectivity to the master, and none of the connections will be established between this worker and master. Okay, so always make sure, if someone was going to build a cluster from the scratch, make sure kubelet services always keep running. Okay, that is the importance of the kubelet. So these are the components, master side and the worker side, and remaining things is depends upon you, like how many servers you want to how many clusters you want to maintain. For example, if you are maintaining with the one master, two workers, or two master, one worker, it completely depends upon your requirements. You might heard about raft algorithms. What is raft algorithms? Raft algorithm is nothing but whatever I said now, right? There is a definition, like if you have one master, how many workers you have to define. Two masters, how many masters you have to define. That is completely about the raft algorithm. This is completely described in the Kubernetes documentation, how many servers you have to select under. That's a very core topic. Now, hope you are good with this master and worker nodes. If you like this video till this time, please like, share and subscribe to this one. I'll continue my video, and I will update the details also in my description, and provide the respective details for your learning also. Okay, now